New Zealand has been separated geographically from the rest of the world for millions and millions of years. Consequently, our native biota isn't comprised predominantly of mammals. New Zealand is not a land of mammals.
This is a land of birds. This episode, we're going to look across at our feathered friends. We have some amazing birds here in Dunedin, and we know just the place to get right up and close with some of the rarest birds in the world. So we've come to this amazing place, Orokonui Eco Sanctuary, Te Korowai o Mihiwaka, the sacred living cloak of Mihiwaka, the mountain that we watched the sunrise over this morning. This place is amazing. It's got a 9-kilometre predator-proof fence, which means on the inside here where we are now, there are no mammalian predators. Because of this lack of predators in this place, it allows us to get up close and personal with some birds and some other animals that we may only be able to see otherwise on offshore islands or high up in mountains away from where people normally are.
I am surrounded by tuis, one of the wonderful birds that reside in this forest. Another bird that uses this wonderful bird feeder station is the kaka. It's a type of forest parrot with a huge curved beak, beautiful red underside feathers and a darker coat. This helps them blend into the forest effectively. They're related to the kea, which is the alpine parrot, and they're very intelligent birds. In fact, some people have speculated that they're some of the smartest birds in the world. What they'll do is they'll use this huge beak of theirs to dig through the bark on trees, find grubs, insects and other invertebrates that they can munch on. They'll also eat some types of vegetation as well.
Now New Zealand actually has not one, but 2 species of kaka, the South Island and the North Island kaka. Now, these can be tricky to tell apart, but the key distinguishing feature is that we're in the South Island, so that these are most likely South Island kaka. Oh, mate! Oh, it's mako. So this plant is mako, Aristotelia serrata. It produces so much fruit that people made wine for it, and that gives it the English name wineberry. Now this plant is incredibly important for the manu, for the birds. The koromako is named as such because its favourite food is the berries of this plant. What an amazing find.
You won't believe what I've just found. This here is a bird feather. Now I'm not sure which species it belongs to. Could be a harrier, could be a grey duck. Not too sure. But what's important is it's a good sign. It means that birds must be very nearby.
Behind me is one of New Zealand's most amazing birds. This flightless rail is the largest rail in the world. You can see it's got this beautiful blue and turquoise coloration and an enormous red bill. Now these animals are specially designed to live in alpine regions and areas where there's lots of snow tussock, and they're amazing animals. They'll continuously eat things like grass and quite low nutritional diets, yet they'll still be able to survive and do great.
It is so amazing to have 2 of these birds in one place. With this breeding pair here, Kwame and Paku, they're only 2 of 347 take left. These birds were so rare that at one point they were thought to be extinct, but clearly they're not now. They were rediscovered back in 1948 in the Murchison Mountains near Te Anau, and over time we've grown the population back up, and it's still growing, but they're still extremely rare. We're so lucky to have amazing places like Orokonui Eco Sanctuary where we can come and see these birds up close. Because before this sort of place, the only place you'd be able to see these guys would be on offshore islands or way up in the Murchison Mountains. So another major threat to the take is actually deer. So the deer aren't actually eating the take, but more what the take eat. So take, one of their favourite foods is this plant here, Kainakoa rubra, the red tussock, haumata. Now, haumata is a mountain tussock, and tussocks in New Zealand grow quite slow. So take feed on them in a different way to most animals. They pull out the shoots at the bottom and then nibble on the bottom of the shoots where the most sugars are. Deer, on the other hand, have these great big incisor teeth, and they come down and they chomp on the grass. Once a deer has had a go at a whole mata like this, it'll take 30 years for it to recover, rather than just 1 or 2 for a take. So in places where we've got lots and lots of deer, we actually don't have any food for the take. So when we're thinking of pest control in the future, we can't just think of mammalian animals that are going to eat our birds. We have to think of those that might be competing with them as well.
One of my favourite things about these magnificent flightless birds is they actually resemble dinosaurs so much. They've got these big robust legs and huge toe claws. They've got this big robust body with a huge derriere.
Derriere.
They're very cool.
Oh, check this out. So this here is take poo, and using take poo, it can tell us a lot about what take are eating. So if we break it up, what's in here? Mostly just pieces of grass. So that tells me they're eating mostly just grass. Now, an extraordinary thing about take is just the phenomenal amount of poo that they do. Take will do 7.5 meters of poo every single day. Humans, I think we probably do 0.5 meter max. Imagine 7.5 meters every day. That's incredible.
One of the most amazing features of this feces is that you can actually eat it. So it's...
Wait, Sam, what was that, mate?
Any of the feces, can't you?
No, mate, don't. No, that's... Don't eat that, mate. You can't eat that.
I thought, you know, like it's just grass, right?
Humans can't even eat grass. Mate, we can't even, that's why cows have 4 stomachs. Incredible. What do we have here? Now right here, we've got a small pile of poo. Now, this poo might seem insignificant, but remember that every poo's a clue and every poo will tell us who's who. So this feces, by giving it a sniff, we'll get to know what species did it. So I'm just gonna pick up a bit of poo, have a sniff. So this poo smells exactly like a mix between vanilla and bleach. And from that, I can actually tell that's kiwi poo. Why kiwi poo smells like vanilla and bleach? I don't actually know, but that's a question for another day.
So the species of kiwi we find in the sanctuary is the Haaspukueka. It's a species of South Island kiwi, and in fact, it's possibly the most threatened species of kiwi. It's estimated that there's only about 400 individuals left in the wild. So that's why places like the sanctuary are so important for protecting these marvellous animals, where mammalian predators hammer them outside of places like this in the wild.
Fantastic. So what we have here is actually where a kiwi has stuck its beak into the ground looking for worms. Now, kiwi are a particularly unique bird. There is really nothing else in the world like them. They've been separated from everything else for so long that they've got a lot of mammal-like tendencies. Now, the kiwi actually, despite having a long beak, has one of the shortest beaks in the world because its nostrils are at the end of the beak, and that's how we measure beak length, from nostrils to the tip of the beak. So kiwis have their nostrils at the end, and that's so they can sniff around the ground, find animals that are underground, and then stick their beak in deep into holes like this that they're made to find those animals. And then you'll often hear them sneezing to get dirt out of their nostrils. These fantastic tiny birds right behind me here are the toho. Now the toho in Te Reo translates directly to stranger. And that's because although these birds are native, they haven't actually been here that long. Only sometime around the last 200 years they arrived by themselves in this country from Australia. And that's why they've been given this name, stranger.
We've had an amazing time here today in the Orokonui Eco Sanctuary. We've seen kaka here, we've seen korimako, we've seen kaka. It's been fantastic. But there are still some birds that have eluded us.
The absolutely tiny Titi Ponamu, the rifleman, eluded us all day. We heard one, but we didn't quite see it. We didn't see any robin, despite them fluttering around us. And of course, it would have been nice to see a kiwi, but they're all asleep at the moment.
Nonetheless, it was a fantastic journey, and we're glad you could join us once again in this land of birds. I stuffed that up.
As we go chasing nature.
Me and Taylor would just like to extend a massive thank you to Orokonui Eco Sanctuary for allowing us to film there. We'd also like to thank our wonderful Director of Cinematography, Natasha Rogers,
for filming us. Without her, we wouldn't have been able to get both me and Taylor in the shots. So Natasha, thank you so much.